Alright, hello and welcome everybody. Today we're going to be going over how to model a cold climate air source heat pump in Hot2000. So this is done differently than a standard heat pump. And basically all you need to do is go over to this website here, which I'll have a link in the description below for the video. And on this website, if you search for your heat pump, you can search by AHRI, model number up here. If it pops up on this website, then it is indeed a cold climate heat pump. And before we get into what we're going to need to enter and all that stuff, I just want to go over a few things here. So if you can see from this example, these top three all have the same model number. And so what you're looking for in this case, if you typed in this model number, these three would pop up. And essentially up here you can see multi-zone. So in this case, it's a mix of non-ducted and ducted. This one is all ducted and this one is all non-ducted. So choose accordingly. And then another thing to note here is there is no indoor unit number, and that's because since these are multi-zone, there's different configurations you can have for the indoor heads. So you could have like two 12,000 BTU per hour, along with say a 15,000 and a 9,000. You could have three 12,000s, etc., etc. So that's the reason there is no indoor unit model number in this case. And then a few other things to note when you're searching for your heat pumps. So we'll just scroll down a bit here. So in this case, if you were searching up, this was your model number, and then you can see at the very end here, we have a little asterisk at the end, and that's just a placeholder. So if your model number has all of those other letters and digits in the same order, and then you have an additional one where the asterisk is, this would still be the heat pump you need to choose. And basically that asterisk is there because there could be multiple endings to this unit that have the same efficiency and same specifications. So if yours ended in 142AB, you would still pick this. If it ended in 142A7, you'd still pick it. So that's something to note. And then the other way that you might see a heat pump is you'll have your outdoor unit model number, may or may not have an asterisk in it, and then you also have your indoor model number. So if you have both, you need to make sure that they both match perfectly. And then what you would do is you'd find your heat pump, you'd click View Details, and then we're going to download this PDF, and you're going to save it in your file folder, and you're also going to save, there's a cold climate Excel sheet we got to fill out, you're also going to save that in your file folder as well. And this will give us all the information that we are going to need to enter this into Hot2000. And so let's just start by taking a quick look at what it looks like once you've downloaded it. And then in this case, I have already highlighted all the relevant information that we're going to need. So you can see here, we need to get the rated capacity, and specifically at 47 degrees Fahrenheit. You can see we have a couple options here. And then, we're also going to need the brand name in Hot2000, the outdoor and indoor model number, the HRI number. That's also going to get entered. Then other key pieces of information is going to be the SEER, the HSPF, and then you can see here we have three capacity maintenances. And we're looking for the one that's max 5 degrees Fahrenheit and rated 47 degrees Fahrenheit. We want that percentage. And then we are looking for three heating set points. So at 5 degrees Fahrenheit, 17 and 47. And then what we need is the max. So under this category here, max, the max BTU per hour and COP for those three temperatures. And then for the cooling at 95, we are just looking for the COP. So next I will show you guys the cold climate air source heat pump Excel sheet, which, this will be provided by your service organization. It does have an instructions tab at the bottom in both English and French. And at the top of it, you'll see it has a link to the website as well. And then it does also show you here exactly what we're looking for. Just bear in mind, it's at these specific temperatures. Because depending on the heat pump PDF that you download, it might have additional temperatures in between. So just make sure you're doing 5, 17, 47, and 95 always. And then essentially here, we're going to enter those BTUs and those COPs in this box here. It's going to give us our adjusted capacity to enter in Hot2000. Our adjusted heating COP will be here. And then our cooling COP will be that box there. The reason there's one down here as well is if the homeowner has, say, a non-cold climate heat pump and a cold climate heat pump, then you would enter in the non-cold climate heat pump info here, and it's going to give us an adjusted cooling COP between the two. And it's also going to adjust the capacity and the heating COP. And then a thing to note here, depending on your Excel sheet, these might be defaulted to COPs for heating efficiency and cooling. For non-cold climate heat pumps, I find it's easier to get the info for HSPF and SEER, so that's what I switch mine to. And then, so for your non-cold climate, you'd enter your capacity, the cutoff temp, if you can find it online. If not, there is a default to use. And then from there, essentially, we just take this, we take our PDF, and then we would enter our manufacturer name in here, the outdoor-indoor model numbers here, AHRI number there. And then from Hot2000, we need to get the heating degree days, which we get under house, and then the weather tab. So if this was our location, you can see here we've got our heating degree days. So we'll need to enter those in because that will affect the capacity and COPs. And then from there, we just need our PDF, and I'll just enter all the data really quickly. So at 5 degrees Fahrenheit, 17,251, COP of 1.83, at 17, 2673, 1.96, at 47 degrees, 34795, 2.91 for the COP. And then for cooling, we just need the COP, 2.93. And you can see here we've got our adjusted kilowatts or BTU per hour, however you want to enter it. This is our heating COP. Nothing has shown up here because that only happens when you enter a second heat pump that's not cold climate. So that is going to be our cooling COP right there. So then in Hot2000, we just go to heating and cooling. We go to our heat pump tab. And in this case, take a quick look at our PDF here. We have a non-ducted system. So it heats and cools. And then I'm going to switch it from central split, well, that would be a ducted system, to a mini split ductless. And then you would enter the number of heads for the system, manufacturer here, indoor and outdoor model number there, AHRI. If it is Energy Star, don't check the box here because that will cause some issues with the mailbot when it gets submitted to Enercan. And then we can go ahead and put our adjusted capacity of 10.74 kilowatts in, or you can hit the kilowatt button and enter in BTUs per hour, whatever you prefer. And then down here, we're going to switch our heating from HSPF to COP, our cooling from SEER to COP, and we'll enter in 2.88 for our heating and 2.93 for our cooling. And then you'll note down here, it says set temperature cutoff to restricted, then set cutoff temp to negative 7.6 degrees Fahrenheit. So we'll go ahead and do that. So we'll switch this from balance point to restricted. We'll type in negative 7.6. And then we're going to check the cold climate heat pump box down here. And then we need our PDF again. And what we're looking for, so here, this HSPF is actually the HSPF region 4. So I know when you're normally entering a heat pump up here and you're using HSPF, you need to use the region 5. But in this case down here, it's region 4. So just straight off the PDF, you don't have to do any conversions. We'll just type in our HSPF of 9.6, our SEER of 20, the capacity, that's at 47, so that's 30,000. Our COP at 5 degrees Fahrenheit, that's our first one down here. And our capacity maintenance max at 5 and rated at 47, so that's the 57%. And that's all we would need to enter here. And then because it's a cold climate heat pump and we're using COPs and stuff here and not entering it as we would a normal heat pump, we need to come up to house, go to info, add, switch this to info 5. And then in the value section, we're just going to type NEEP. This way Enercan knows that we entered a cold climate air source heat pump. And so that's basically everything you need to know to enter in the cold climate air source heat pump into Hot2000. Make sure to save that PDF and that Excel sheet in your folder. And then just a couple things I would like to, I guess, suggest would be, if we just pop back here to the Hot2000 for a second. So it would be nice if the HSPF here maybe in brackets said region 5, and then down here we had brackets that said region 4 to specify. For capacity, maybe in brackets have at 47 degrees Fahrenheit. And then instead of us having to do this workaround and look up all this information off a website and then type it into an Excel sheet, maybe the Excel sheet could just have the AHRI numbers in there that link to all of these data points that we need to enter. And it could just either, fill itself out. So when you come here, all we would need to do is put in our heating degree days. And the AHRI number gives us all the info we need. Or better yet, maybe if we could just have the AHRI number here and have the database built in to automatically fill out our capacity, COP, and all of this information as well. That would be super, super awesome. Anyways, that's how to model a cold climate air source heat pump. And yeah, so if you enjoyed the video, give me a like and follow. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I will catch you at the next modeling tutorial for Hot 2000. All right, thank you everybody, and have yourselves a good day.